Hey YouTube, thanks for stopping by. The title and thumbnail speaks for itself. Today I'm going to show you all what it was like to walk through the Titanic Exhibition that has just made a huge return in Dallas. I was invited by the organizers for the media preview, in which I got to see the exhibit just ahead of the influencer party that occurred later that night. So lots to go through here. Let's get to it.
So your boarding pass, just keep an eye when you get to the end. After you pass the iceberg room, you'll find out if you're a passenger, lift, or drive.
Alright.
We're kind of midway.
She was a modern marvel at almost 1,000 feet long.
And then when the doors open, you can enjoy the exhibit.
Building on centuries of experience, incredible engineering and craftsmanship, Titanic was designed without the means of computers and 3D design software, and fashioned to last a lifetime. She headed out across the Atlantic Ocean to New York, a distance of 3,155 nautical miles. But of course, Titanic never made it. On April 14th, 4 days into her journey, she struck an iceberg in the middle of the ocean and sank. From the time she struck the iceberg to the time she sank beneath the surface of the ocean, only 2 hours and 40 minutes had elapsed. More than 1,500 people lost their lives that night. Now we are here to experience and remember this incredible journey filled with hopes and dreams of the passengers and crew, and the disaster that touched our lives forever. She is the most famous ship in history. This is the story of the designers and builders who created her. This is the story of the passengers and crew. This is the story of Titanic.
According to my boarding pass, I entered as Richard Norris Williams II, a 21-year-old first-class passenger sailing from Southampton, accompanied by his father, Charles Dwayne Williams. He was a professional tennis player originally from Geneva, Switzerland. Later on, during the party, I get to talk with one of the founders of the experience who knows a lot more about him and his father. It was very interesting, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'll share the fun fact about him that was on my pass. As the ship was sinking, Williams went to the bar and asked a steward to fill up his empty flask. But the steward refused to do so because the bar was closed. This is just hilarious to me. It sounds like the first ever instance of being just a chill guy. The ship is sinking, and he's just casually in the mindset of, I could go for a drink right about now. It doesn't seem like he was trying to drink preemptively, to make things easier during a time of crisis and potentially increase his odds of survival. It sounds like he was just wanting a drink. And then the steward says no, not because the ship is literally sinking, but because the bar happens to be closed. Which reminds me of that viral meme of Batman and Joker busting out laughing after he says that if he walks across the light to get to their building, then he'll just turn the flashlight off. Completely glossing over the fact that unless you're Miss Marvel, light is not a hard surface you can walk on.
So they made it up to the roof, and there, just across this narrow gap, they see rooftops stretching across town, stretching to freedom. Now, the first guy, he jumps right across, no problem, but his friend, oh, no way. He's afraid of falling. So the first guy, he has an idea. He says, hey, I got this flashlight with me. I'll shine it across the gap between the buildings, and you can walk across the beam and join me. But the second guy says, what do you think I am, crazy? You just turn it off when I'm halfway across.
This I like. You hear that audio transition? So you're gonna notice here and there that there's gonna be little audio symbols with a number. That's because this is it comes with an audio tour. They give you this little handheld system. You know, letting you know which one to press, and then you'll receive an audio tour. So if you have a preference, you know, maybe bring your own headphones to connect with it. I want to open those doors so bad, but I don't know if I'm gonna be bombarded by a big water monster from the ocean, like Spider-Man Far From Home. But yeah, I love the change in tone, all the little details. Yeah, this I like. I like this a lot. Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? We have this right here. There's Mr. Mark.
Keeping an eye out for a spot.
Yep.
When it's time. All right.
For sure.
We'll definitely do it. Don't you worry.
I appreciate it.
You got it, brother.
So, you know, as you probably said, that was Mr. Mark Locke that I just spoke with. Very nice, passionate guy. I do my homework before I do these things, and he's just really passionate. But in one of the interviews I watched, he mentioned that there was a time where he didn't know any more about the Titanic than I did. So it's just very soothing it's refreshing to see someone go from aware of how far they've come, like from knowing something, knowing practically nothing to knowing a lot and being so passionate about it. I think we all have that thing in our lives where something just moves us. Like, I remember when I didn't know anything about chess. I remember when I didn't know much about Marvel. So, this is Mr. Locke's Marvel. And because of that, it gave us this exhibition. So, if anyone ever has the pleasure of meeting him, tell him that Garrett sent you. Everyone was very gay. Are you liking it so far?
It's really, really interesting. There's so much to see. I don't think I expected this many artifacts.
Me neither.
It's cool that they have them from the different ships of the same
Yeah.
line, I guess.
What, the Olympic?
Like on the what's the Britannica? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
I keep like
Britannic?
Yes, I was gonna say I keep saying the encyclopedia and stuff. But it's cool to get to see them because they're obviously in better shape and more accessible than the
Yeah.
Titanic stuff, and so it's fun to get to see them all, in full sets and put together and the way that they would be.
Yeah.
On the ships. It's really cool.
Alright, moment of truth. Did I survive? Richard Norris. I'm assuming I'm dead because there weren't only so many survivors.
Oh, she and her mom both survived.
He survived?
Yes, she and her mother.
Well, what do you know? I survived. Mr. Williams, Richard Norris II. But he was with his dad, so let me see if his dad survived. Okay, so unfortunately his father did not survive, Mr. Charles Dwayne Williams. I'll have to look them up. It's another one of those really immersive ones. Nice. I guess this is comparing how deep the Titanic sank. See, like this long transition. I knew it. Wow. 1985, a French and American team drew a rectangle on the map around the most likely wreck site in Chile. So it was only found in 85, not that long ago, like 40 years ago. So 73 years later. This is some kind of, it's emulating the this I like. They included a little tie-in for the locals who want to know if there's any like relevancy between the state that we're experiencing this in and the event that we're doing an exhibition for. So I think that's really cool. I'm glad they're selling those.
You can't not. It's so
Yeah, I've got to have that.
Did you ladies enjoy your experience?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so one thing I want to mention is that there's a VR experience afterwards. It's part of the whole experience. So definitely do that. I'm gonna do that and give you my review.
It's currently set of 12 minutes and 31 seconds.
Awesome.
It's quite a big experience. It goes over the submersible.
Right.
People went down to look at the wreckage with.
Mm-hmm.
Our founder, in fact, is one of those people. So this is within that.
Mr. Locke?
From him. Yep.
So you go take them through, and then if one talk to Tom, and then over 30 is for photographer.
And he happens to be a friend of the
Oh my goodness.
Honored, yeah. Tom likes my kindness because...
That's great.
Hi. Hey, I survived.
Oh, good to hear it. Good to hear it.
That's exciting.
Are you going to be with us a little longer?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll come grab you. I'll take them through now.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll come grab you and we'll do our
Sounds good.
interview. All
Yeah,
right.
unfortunately my father didn't survive, but, I survived.
Well, you did a family
you
tree.
inherited, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, inherited.
Well, it's funny when we were just talking about that. You know, the boarding passes. People, I think, will take them initially like almost lightheartedly, like, oh, look, mom's in first class, dad's in third. But as people make their way through, it becomes a little more personal. And you kind of go, first class was like this. They're immigrants coming to the United States. So there's the energy, the excitement of that. So when people get to the end and see this wall, we're not saying go find your name, but they're compelled to. It's like, what happened to this person that somehow I've connected with today? You know?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm back. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Maggie, Jenny, Garrett. Hi, Garrett. I'm Jenny. Nice to meet you.
Jenny and
Maggie.
and Tammany. Where's that from? Tammany?
It's a very unique name.
Very unique.
It's Scottish.
Oh.
Do you know what? Are you Scottish? No, but I was there.
Good evening, everybody. Continue enjoying your drinks and your food this evening. My name is Mark Locke. I'm with the exhibition. We're going to have a few comments, a few remarks here in just a little bit, and then we'll let you in the exhibition. So hang tight, probably around 6:30, not probably, exactly at 6:30. We'll do comments and then we'll get you in, okay? So enjoy the bars over there, that's yours, and the food being passed around. Okay? Thank you.
You had me at crab cakes.
Thank you.
We all come together?
What's this one?
Blackened chicken with risotto. You have to try.
All right, let's do it. The blackened chicken fell off the spoon.
The chicken did?
Yeah. The rice was good though.
Did it take flies?
Hey. Hi. I was just telling Paulette this place looks a lot different than it did a couple hours ago.
Yes. It did, yeah. Yes, it does. A lot of people.
Yep. Also a different crowd than what I'm used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last event I did was a bunch of people who want to play Minecraft, play video games.
Oh, okay.
This is the Titanic,
this is
so.
Yeah, this is a whole different kettle of fish.
Yep. All right, John, so did you figure it out?
Well, not really, but we're making it work.
We're going to start here just a little bit. We've got a wonderful, you're going to enjoy it. Look to your left, most of you to your left. A green screen photo opportunity that's yours tonight as our gift to you. So if you want to go over there, if you want to take your group, your family, you're by yourself, I feel bad for you, but head on over there anyway. But if you want to get that taken now, at the end of the experience tonight in the gift shop, you can pick up your photo. We've got about 5 more minutes before we're just going to have a few comments and remarks, and then we'll get rolling. So if you want to head over there now, grab that opportunity. Thanks.
My chicken flopped the first one I had.
Oh no, well here you go again. I think you should try again.
Second time to charm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, what is that? We're like the Hey, Garrett.
How you doing, Mark?
Hey, man.
I was telling my viewers how hilarious you are.
Well, I'll take it. And I eat funny too. Let me throw this away. I gotta make sure. Yeah.
The trash can right behind you.
What?
The trash can right behind you. Like I said, hilarious.
I got 1 million of them.
No, I only got passes one time. I went and like
6:30, and here we are. Welcome to everyone here tonight. If I could get everybody's attention just for a little bit here. I had a teacher once that said, "I'll wait."
Raise your 2 fingers.
Exactly. My name is Mark Locke. It has been my privilege, honor, and kind of journey of a lifetime to be part of this exhibition unbelievably for the last 25 years. I know, Tom and I both, I'm going to introduce Tom here in just a second. Some of you may remember when we were at Fair Park in the year 2000. Exactly. And here we are again. And we're so excited to be back in Dallas. This is an exhibition that's near and dear to our hearts. It's a responsibility. This was a very exciting story in history, as you know, but also a very tragic one. And I hope we put together an exhibition that does both things. It makes it exciting, it makes it fun, but it also brings home the very emotional, personal story of the people that were aboard that ship the night she sank. I hope we've warmed up a little bit here inside. I was going to make a joke earlier about it being just above 30 degrees the night Titanic sank, and we've recreated it here in the lobby. So, but have a good time now. If you've taken your photos already, great, and you're going to go right in. You're going to get a boarding pass when you walk in the exhibition. On that boarding pass is the name of an actual Titanic passenger, the class they sailed in, and kind of what they were up to, their occupation, what they expected to do when they came to America. I know when the guests go through, public goes through, they usually take that boarding pass kind of as a souvenir and a little lighthearted moment. But it's interesting, and I bet you'll have the same feeling. When you make your way through, a bit of a connection with that person. And at the end of the exhibition, there's a wall of all 2,300 names that were aboard the Titanic. Those that were lost and those that were saved. Your name is on that wall. It has been not only a pleasure to do this exhibition, but Tom and I both, years ago, when we first started doing this, had the rare opportunity to get inside of one of those submersibles and go 2.5 miles down to the ocean floor. So we'll talk, there's a gallery devoted to that experience that you'll see tonight. But if you want to chat, come on up tonight. We'll tell you some stories about what that was like. But it was an experience of a lifetime, as you can imagine. We're so excited to be back. We found a location that we could do anything we wanted. It's a wonderful 20,000 square foot space. And we've kind of, for those of you who know the shopping center, it's Steinmart no longer. Okay? It's now an exhibition. So I wanted to thank Henry S. Miller, the folks that have the Pepper Square here. They've been so gracious. Joe Hernandez especially. Where's Joe? Joe has helped. Joe, thank you very much. Big hand for Joe, who's really been a big part of this. Visit Dallas, of course, has been doing yeoman's work to get this word out, not only just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but all around Texas. And quite frankly, there'll be visitors from all around the country coming here as well. And Paulette from Blue Spark, where's Paulette? There she is. You all know her. I'm getting to know her. I find her fantastic, and she really is, isn't she? And she's organized so many things for us, including our media day this morning. So welcome. We have an audio tour. Some of you have it. Okay. The green screen photo, also a VR experience. Tom and I do a little narration at the beginning, talking about going down to the ocean floor. Make sure you participate in all those things.
take the time that you need tonight. Just be out by 9 o'clock. Just kidding. So have a great time, but I want to introduce a guy that I've known all these wonderful years, and this is Tom's exhibition, Tom's company, Imagine, and he's the president and CEO, a great guy, and a wonderful exhibition producer. Tom's going to say a few words. Tom's up.
Thank you, Mark. Yes. That VR thing over there is also included for everybody who wants to come see it. That is, the story is of Mark and I's journey to the wreck site. So it's kind of it was a nice thing for us to be able to do, although it was 24 years ago. So I'm going to be really brief and just thank you all for coming, but also I want to make a big thank you to my team, Imagine Exhibitions, all of the team who makes this exhibition happen, the retail team who developed all this merchandise and put this store together, and my favorite new, I love this thing. I have to tell you about my cotton candy machine. I've always wanted one, and I bought one, and I'm really excited to play with it. So it's really fun. Have fun. And right now it's free, so you should take advantage of it. Because tomorrow it's $10, but right now it's free. So the photo costs money tomorrow too, so you guys all get all these bonuses. The VR, no, I'm just kidding. It really, my team's been incredible. We have 45 touring exhibitions around the world. They work incredibly hard. So I think we give a big round of applause for my team and all the crew who made it. I also want to mention Rene Bergeron here, who's standing back there, wave his hand. Rene is the collector who all of the objects inside this exhibition you'll see tonight from many different ships around the world that tell the full story of the Titanic. Rene has been collecting for 20 years? 3 years. 30 years. Rene's here, and he loves to talk about it. So if you are interested, he would love to take you through, and you'll see him throughout the galleries as you go through. I'm going to let you go. I can talk all night long. Thank you all so much for coming. Please spread the word. We're here on sale through May 11th, and we hope to have as great of a success as we just did in Chicago. So thank you all very much. Appreciate you.
If you've already taken your photo, the entry to the exhibition is right here, to my right around the corner. And finish up your drinks. And by the way, shout out to Cotton Candy one more time. But do not bring it in the exhibition. You just talked about Rene and his artifacts. Try not to bring sticky fingers in the exhibition. All right, have a great time tonight. And free cotton candy.
This is a philosophical question. Do you think that the Clive Palmer Titanic 2 is a good idea?
Well, I think anything that promotes the story of Titanic is great. The Clive Palmer ship, has never happened, so I don't know that it ever will or won't. I was a part of an event that took place on the 100th anniversary and we talked to him a lot about it. I think it's fun. I mean, I think that a business venture like that needs to be financially responsible for the owner, I think, or maybe not. If we have tons of money, who cares? But I think it's wonderful. I had a bunch of friends who worked on it. I think if you try to recreate the Titanic and bring it to life, it's a great story people love. It's no different than creating an experience like this or recreating any other famous event in history. So I think it's fun. Yeah. I've never been asked that question.
It's very tempting, even knowing the implications of a second Titanic. It still intrigues me,
I'd go on board the ship.
Yeah.
But I've also dove the wreck site, so I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that I don't think you're tempting fate by just using the same name. It's all kinds of things that are used the same name,
True.
Tragedies. So.
Now let's say the unfortunate for some reason does happen.
Yeah.
Do you think that same women and children first mentality would be upheld the same way it was back then?
I don't think so. I think that
just so
first
you know
of all,
the logistics of things. We have an intro theater, and we'll let so many in at a time.
I think there'll be plenty of lifeboats, and there'll be no issue with women. I mean, I think it'll be everybody's going to be equal. I don't think it's going to be.
I think there's enough lessons to learn from the first one to not be a need for that.
Yeah, and there's also going to be plenty of lifeboats. The Titanic didn't have enough lifeboats. There's no way it would have worked.
Plus, each one will get fully stocked this time, so
That's
putting
right.
12 on one.
Exactly.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Renee is right there. He's got a Imagine Jack right there. He's got the. I'll introduce you. Hey, this young man. I almost wore mine too. This young man is want to do a video. Yeah.
Garrett, I was wondering if you had a favorite relic.
There's a few. It's kind of hard to pick.
Hard to pick one favorite, so what are some of your favorites?
Like the grand staircase piece of wood from Titanic, the cup and saucer.
I like that one.
The postcard that was mailed from the ship. The gold medal was taken off the body when they retrieved the bodies. There's so many.
One that stuck out to me for some reason is the Heart of the Ocean prop replica.
Okay, yeah. That's one of 2,000 exact replicas. J. Peterman was the only company that was allowed to make exact replicas of the one used in the movie. If you look in the movie, the only difference is the one in the movie, there's a hole cut at the back, and that's for when Rose drops it in the water that the light can shine through the diamond.
Wow. Another thing that I saw that another person found interesting were the prop vests. The stunt vest.
Yeah.
And I guess that was for doing the climax of the movie when
the ship's going up on an angle, the stunt people would have these vests on with the wheels, and they were placed in different ways, like if they were sliding forward, sliding on their backs. And then we have photos in the exhibit that show that as well.
Right. Wow. Another thing about the Titanic is that it's the center of. It's real history, but it's the center of romance, and love and care and support for one another.
When you're talking about the stories, I just want to hit two stories. When you say about romance and stuff like that, you've got the Strausses, the owner of Macy's, and she gets into a lifeboat, and her husband's kind of wished. I think then they said, Mr. Strauss, I think that you're old enough that you'd be allowed to come in, and he's like, no, I'm a man, I'm going to stay back. And then Ida gets out of the lifeboat, and he says, well, what are you doing? And her coat was similar to we've lived together, and then we'll go together. Where you go, I go, right? And then you have the Allisons, which is a Canadian family. He was one of the richest Canadians on board. They were coming back from a vacation to move into their house, which is 25 minutes from my home. And then he was traveling with his baby son and his daughter and a maid and his wife. The big hoopla of the Titanic goes around, they're kind of panicking. The maid goes away and says, well, I'm not going to have this. We got to get off this lifeboat. She takes Trevor, the baby, and gets into a lifeboat. And then you talk about romance and family. When he got his wife calmed down, he says, okay, I got to get you and the kids into a lifeboat. And then they looked around the room and said, where's Trevor? And they vowed not to leave the ship until they found their son, not knowing he was safe in the lifeboat. So Lorraine, the daughter, is the only first-class child to die on Titanic. But, like that, it's not necessarily romance, but family and love. They didn't want to leave until, they wouldn't want to leave one of theirs behind. There's so many stories like that on Titanic.
Wow. Yeah, so I did it earlier for the morning preview. I was a Williams, Sir Williams. He had a father on board. His father died, but he lived. They were both first class.
William Norris, the tennis player.
Yes.
So he's into where when one of the funnels fell over, his dad got crushed by the funnel and it just missed him, but then the wash of the funnels pushed him away. So then he got to a collapsible A, and he hung on the side for a bit until the passengers inside finally took him in. So he was in the water and was taken out. And few people, like survivors that were in the water, survived because they got hypothermia in the lifeboat. So, and he went on to win Wimbledon after that. He went on to win an Olympic medal in 1924, 1926. So, to go through such a big tragedy like that and still be able to be, to rise above later on.
Yeah, life goes on, and our hearts live on. You carry it with you, but your heart is still pumping.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
chicken on polenta. So chicken and polenta is the little circle part.
Okay, I've already had one, but I just want to know what it was called.
Yeah.
So
Another?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
So I want some feedback on something.
Okay.
So I was thinking, how would a potential spouse react if I'm ready to propose to her and I say, here's the heart of the ocean.
Oh, she would melt.
She would melt?
She would melt.
Actually, we're planning on doing that. We have somebody getting proposed.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought one of the heart of the oceans earlier.
Are you going to propose?
No,
Is that
well,
what I'm hearing?
I don't have a official relationship yet, so I'm gonna.
You're gonna save it?
I'm gonna save it.
That is. Oh, you are just a romantic. And you know what? That's gonna hook you a girl because you're a romantic.
I think it costs in this day and age. It costs to be romantic.
Sometimes it's not. It's not about the money.
No, not the money. I mean, like it costs. It costs emotionally.
Sometimes.
In a more superficial world, you know, where everyone's after the next best thing. And,
but you know what? I also am a firm believer that out there is the person for everybody. You just have to find him.
Yeah, if there's billions of men and women, there's got to be one for
somebody everywhere.
Yep.
And when you're meant to be together, you'll be together. I think that happens. I have faith. I think you're going to find your person, and you're going to be able to give them that heart, and it's going to be romantic. And I hope I get to witness that.
Yep. Which one is this one?
Prime rib.
Prime rib?
It's good.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I love those.
Okay, so you're familiar with it.
Thank you so much. This is the coolest you've looked all night.
The coolest?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, can I have it? I might die. I might fall asleep right here. Very fun. It's almost over.
Can I ask you a question? Hold on, I'll wait. Got you at the perfect time, huh?
You did. What's up?
So I was just wondering, how reluctant were you to take the first bite? I know you didn't quite want to pull it apart, right?
Oh, I didn't give a shit.
Oh.
A lot better. I was literally in the middle of saying, "Oh, I don't want to eat it." And she was already. It was designed to be eaten. Want some?
Sure. Thank you so much.
Oh, see, I knew this part was going to be weird. Yeah. It's like a truffle tree. All right, let's put some wine. Yeah, it is. Let's put some more wine. Yeah.
You've gone through a transformation. You look so much different.
I know. Since then. So, what have you been up to since this morning?
Here,
walk with us. We're gonna go check and see you.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get some pictures.
Are you wearing a life vest?
I am. I heard it's very realistic.
I got it.
And who is she channeling?
Who's she channeling?
Yeah. Famous Titanic survivor.
I know the look, I don't know the name.
Mrs. Astor.
Astor.
You know who John Jacob Astor was?
No.
Richest man in New York City?
He was.
And how did he make his money? He was a fur trader.
Fur trader, railroad, oil and gas.
Do you know the Waldorf Astoria?
No.
You don't know the Waldorf Astoria Hotel?
The Waldorf Astoria. Waldorf Astoria.
You gotta go.
It's the big fancy hotel in New York City. And
I have a
it was from their family.
That's not the Plaza?
Well, the Plaza is another fancy hotel in New York City. To his credit, there are a few other fancy hotels.
There are.
At least you pulled one of them out of your hat.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, your hat.
So, true story, his medical school class,
Alright, YouTube, thanks for making it to the end. Those who know me know that I don't like to do these long videos, but I also don't want to hold back on sharing any of the content I gathered, so I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see my interview with Mark Locke, along with bonus clips from the party, you can find that on my Patreon. Thanks again to everyone involved for making this happen and having me out. It's been a great pleasure. For those who'd like to experience this exhibit for themselves, a link will be in the description to book tickets. Until next time, take care. It's not a real doorknob.